Preparation plus opportunity equals luck. And I was like, oh, that's like a really interesting concept. And that stuck with me. Another one that I've done, hopefully some band people know the answer to this. Accuracy plus speed. Anyone for band, just call it out. Anyone? Fluency. Okay, we'll talk about that tomorrow in band class. Noted. Got it. But today I'm going to start with the answer to this equation, trust. So to me, trust equals knowledge plus faith. So knowledge is what you know via evidence or experience or facts. And in this case, my definition of faith is belief without evidence. So things that you just have to take a leap of faith with that you just can't know. And so I'm going to take you through 3 skydives and 3 very different sort of trust equations for that. But what would this look like in other parts of life? So let's imagine you are getting ready for a test. You should have a lot of knowledge. You should have knowledge of what's on the test, what the format will be, what you've studied, what's going on there. And the faith is, am I going to remember it? Am I going to do well under those conditions? Something where you might not have a lot of knowledge, eating at a restaurant. I suppose you could look into their health scores, but really you're thinking about, I'm just gonna believe that they're not gonna spit in my food, hopefully. So that's a spot where you might have a lot more faith, a little bit of knowledge. And then I think a really great example of like a total split down the middle is team sports. You know what you've worked on, you know what your teammates have worked on, you have experience together, but you have to have faith in each other and in yourself when you're in that situation. So as I said, I'm gonna walk you through 3 skydives, We are gonna have a practical demonstration of sorts with my gear. I was told a lot of y'all thought I was skydiving on the campus, so sorry to disappoint, maybe one of these days. So I'm gonna take you through a tandem jump, which is how most of you would start skydiving, if that's a thing you ever wanted to do, a student jump, and a licensed jump. So you wanna make your first skydive. Obviously, you cannot just get a parachute and jump out of a plane just because you want to. You probably want to start with a tandem. So a tandem jump is when you are attached, like this, to a professional. And this is someone who's gone through a lot of rating courses, who's done a lot of work to become a tandem instructor. In my case, my first skydive was my dad's 60th birthday. He called and was like, do you want to go skydiving? I was like, yes, please. And so we went in Knoxville. And when you sign up for a tandem skydive, basically all you know is that you've signed away your legal rights. And a little bit of knowledge, that's all you know. So you sign up, you say, if I die, my family won't sue you. Okay, cool. And you just trust, you have faith in a whole lot of things. So firstly, I had to have faith in my instructor, that he knew what he was doing. I had to have faith in his equipment, which I knew nothing about, didn't know what was going on there. Had to have faith in the plane, which getting into it was not in great shape. I was like, okay, I'm really gonna trust this person. And you're climbing up slowly, takes about 20 minutes to get up to 14,000 feet. So you're 14,000 feet in the air, you open up the door of the airplane, and you look down and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it almost doesn't feel real. You're so high up that it's just, your brain does not compute that, oh yes, that's the ground and I'm headed this way. And then this happens. So this is me getting out of the plane on my first tandem. Obviously, you can tell I'm having a good time, but I'm really nervous. You can see there's a tiny little parachute above us. That's called a drogue. Tandem instructors use those to stabilize. Since there's 2 of you, it can get a little unstable. But I'm having a great time. And I remember just looking at the ground and thinking, I can't believe this is happening. It's like the most intense roller coaster ride you've ever been on. And then, once you open under canopy, it's quiet. And you're like literally flying. And it was during this that I was thinking, this will not be the last time I do this. Oh my goodness. So this is the part that we got to see with Mr. Angel. So we got to see him under canopy flight. So you can see my instructor actually let me drive a little bit. Those yellow toggles, those are the steering. So what does that look like? Gotta love the cheesy rock music they put behind it. I promise I didn't choose that. So basically how canopy flight works is you pull one way, you turn that way, you pull the other way, you turn the other way. And so that was my first skydive. So much faith, this much knowledge. But then I decided to get licensed. So a couple things for AFF. My knowledge has gone up significantly compared to where it was, but it's still a whole lot of faith. So I'm going to talk you through part of the licensure process. So firstly, what is AFF? So if you decide that you want to be a skydiver, one of the ways you can learn is through accelerated free fall. So it's basically a series of jumps, and I compare it to getting your driver's license. I wasn't wearing a helmet in my tandem jump. It's because they don't want you to fling your head back and knock out your instructor. Wouldn't that be bad? This is my altimeter. Shows me how high I am off the ground. So we will decide at what point, okay, let's say it's 7,000 feet, I'm going to pull my parachute. So this helps me know what's going on there. This helps keep my hair under my helmet so it doesn't get out and going everywhere. And the one thing I need to show you before I ask Bladen to help is this device right in the middle on the back. This device is called an AAD, or automatic activation device. If you are still in free fall below 1,000 feet and you have not pulled your parachute yet, this device will automatically pull your reserve. So that is there for you. All right, Bladen, coming up. Everybody give Bladen a round of applause. Okay, so it goes on just like a backpack. There you go. And I'm just gonna ask you to turn around a second. So I want you to look at this. There are 2 parachutes in here, not out loud, but in your head. I want you to guess how many square feet of parachute I have in here. 328 square feet fitting in right here. My reserve is here, so I have 1 parachute on this upper half. It's heavy, right? And then I have my main parachute right here in the lower half. I am gonna ask Bladen to help me get it out here in a second, so we will get to see that. Bladen, if you turn towards the side and pull, other side, sorry. Pull your right hand back and find the little ball that's hanging out. That is the pilot chute. So here in a second, I'm gonna ask Bladen to throw that. If we were going 120 miles an hour in the air, that would catch the wind and pull out the main parachute. And if you face the audience, these 2 handles right here, the orange ones, don't pull on them, okay. These are my emergency handles. So if I look up and oops, there's a hole in my parachute, I need to get rid of it. So I would pull this one first, that's my cutaway. I pull that handle, my main parachute goes away, flies off, hopefully somewhere I can find it later. This one is my reserve. So I pull that, my other parachute comes out, and I'm good to go. All right, so that's the mini version of the gear. Now I'm gonna give you what I'm gonna call the video game version of like skydiving controls. Side note, if you've played Tears of the Kingdom, I have thoughts on the skydiving mechanics. But anyway, so let's imagine that we're going to do skydiving. So the skydiving position is arch, so like hips forward and hands up like this. Yep, it is not, it's very awkward, you got it. So that's what a normal skydive would be. Then I'm gonna teach you all some hand signs if we were in free fall and I needed to be like, okay, straighten your legs. I can't say that, we're both in helmets, you're not gonna hear me, it's very loud. So, okay, this means straighten your legs. So I would show you this, you would pop out those legs and you'd come forward a little bit. If you were very flat or hunched over like this, I would say arch. This is what arch is. So we'd arch together. If you needed to bend your legs, if your legs were too straight or bent forward, I would give you this. It means bend your legs. This one is the most important. Relax. Because you're definitely gonna be relaxed falling through the air. And then in emergency situations, there's this, which means pull your parachute right now, okay? So we're gonna go through a mini version of that. Let's imagine we both got on our altimeters. So let's say we're on a coach jump, so I would not be holding on to you. So we're arching, yep, oops, you need to bend your legs a little bit. There we go, yep. Oh, I forgot this one, means circle of awareness. Check your altimeter. So you're looking, how high are we? Okay, we get down to, I don't know, 6,000 feet and pull your parachute right now. Now, actually, I want you to grab that and then throw it out as hard as you can. Let go. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna ask my sister to come on up and help me with this. And if Bladen, you would step right here. Thanks. So this has now caught the air. It's gonna pull out this bag and release the parachute. And voila, you are now in canopy flight. As you can see, it's in Baylor colors. Yay. All right, thank you, Bladen. If you want to see me pack this back up, you can stay afterwards. That is truly the hardest part of skydiving, is getting it back in the bag. So if you want to see that, you can stay afterwards. So that is our mini version of ground school. So we're now going to look at my first skydive as a student. So a couple of establishing facts. One, that's me in purple. You notice I'm in a jumpsuit in this one. It has grips on the shoulders, on the legs, so your instructor can hold on to you. I'll talk more about these pants once I get there, but this is what I would normally wear for skydiving, sans the jacket. But I'm in this purple suit. The person who is filming is my instructor, Jake. So he's the one in the tan suit. He's got a camera on his head. And Logan is in the blue jumpsuit. So we're gonna watch it. I'm gonna walk you through a couple things that happen. Okay, then my instructors go their merry ways. So there's a lot of things that happened there. Firstly, I ended up upside down. We had a terrible exit. So what's supposed to happen is I'm supposed to get out of the plane and then give out and go. And that's our time to all move together. But if you watch back, I didn't do that very well. We just kind of fell out of the plane. And so I ended up upside down. I lost one of my instructors. So the rule is if you lose one instructor, you can continue with your skydive. If you lose two instructors, you pull your parachute right now to take care of yourself. Because remember, you are always responsible for a skydive. So I lost one instructor. They told me, pull right now. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I'm so bad at this. They told me to pull at like 8,000 feet. So I was supposed to go down lower. They give me the signal for pull right now. So what do? Panic, reach back with the wrong hand. There's no pilot chute over here. Finally grab it, and I do, of course, release my parachute, and I got to the ground just fine. So what happens after this is I have a radio attached to my chest strap, and once they get to the ground, they can talk to me as I'm landing. Obviously, I got down to the ground just fine, but my little bit of knowledge gained from ground school didn't all go as planned. So that trust, it's in my instructors, it's in the plane, it's in the pilot for putting us out in the right spot. But that is one student jump. So obviously, things have gotten a little bit different since then. So that was 2 years ago, 2 summers ago, that I got licensed. And I've jumped a lot since then. So I'm up to almost 90 skydives. This one that I'm about to show you is from, I think about 50. It was last April, and it was a really good one. So obviously, I have a lot more knowledge, but there is always faith. I have never used my reserve. It's been repacked twice. I have to trust the person that's packing it. I have to trust that this handle will work. Never use that handle. I have to trust that I can get out of line twists. It's a thing that can happen. Imagining like you're on a swing and you spin around and get yourself in a line twist. That can happen. I have to trust that I can respond to emergencies. Luckily, I've never had a skydiving emergency. So the faith is always there. You're never 100% certain of what's about to happen. B license also requires additional training. So I mentioned that in ground school, you have to prepare for a water landing. Well, in order to get your B license, you have to actually jump in the water with a rig on. So I did actually jump in a lake with a skydiving rig on and have to swim out from it. I also had to do a lot of canopy training, but I've always got to have faith any other skydivers, any gear, always. It's never going to go away. So this one, this is me in green. You can see I've now got my own rig. I'm going to talk about kind of what I'm wearing, why it pertains to this. So skydiving in the plane, you're kneeling quite a lot, which is why this has extra protection there. I don't know why, but Vans seem to be the shoes for skydiving. I like them because they have ankle support here. And these pants also have a nice pocket here that does not interfere with my leg straps. So I always jump with my phone. Why? In case there's high winds and I have to land somewhere that's not the airport, I can call and say, hi, here I am, please come get me. So I have that. And you always want to wear things that will make you successful. So me, I fall quite slowly because I don't weigh a whole lot compared to some other skydivers. And so I'm looking to reduce drag. So I'll often jump just like this in a t-shirt. I have jumped in this shirt, that's why I wore it today. So this is the first skydive that ever went exactly how we planned it on the ground. So before each skydive, everyone gets around and we do what we call a mock-up. So we'll walk through it. They're like, okay, you're gonna link up here, and then I'll come in, and then we'll all link up, and then what we'll do is we'll let go, and we'll turn a 360, and then we'll come back. So that was the plan. If you watch me and watch my facial expressions, you can see how excited I am. This is the first time everything has ever gone to plan. So here's one of my B-licensed skydives. It's my instructor, Jake, I'm still jumping with, so he joins up with us. So I am directly across from this person. There I am. So we hook up, we let go, turn in a circle, do the do-si-do, and then come back. And I almost make it back before we have to split off. Almost. All right, so as I said, it was the first one where everything had gone according to plan. Yeah, if you didn't know, you can actually control what's going on in the air by either increasing or decreasing the drag. So if I straighten my legs, I will go forward. If I put my hands out in front of me, I will go backwards, and you can use your arms to turn. So one, you can see how happy I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's working. That was super great. But things still happen. If you're paying really close attention, my friend Matt over here definitely almost collided with me. And you can see, or maybe you can't, but he was looking at me. I didn't see that happen during the skydive. My eyes were totally on Jake and my friend Bree, who I was trying to get back to. We get down to the ground and Matt was like, I almost hit you. I was like, what? So you have to trust that everyone's watching out for everyone else and that everyone's gonna take care of everyone else. So what does this look like for you? Every opportunity you have to trust someone, something, an idea, you can consider, what knowledge do I have? What faith do I have? And there's not a right answer for any situation. It's up to you to decide how that works for you. As I said, if you want to stay after, ask me questions about skydiving, watch me pack up, which is going to take a second. I would love to talk to you all. Other than that, thank you very much. Appreciate your attention.